Low budgets, big ideas, and anything feels possible. It's the 1960s, and today we're remembering the cult sci-fi movies that defined the decade. Invasion of the Neptune Men is Japan's answer to So Bad It's Good cinema, a delirious mix of superheroes, aliens, and pure 1960s camp. Aliens from Neptune attack Earth, and the only man who can stop them is an astronomer who moonlights as a caped hero named Space Chief, or, in the original Japanese version, Iron Sharp. He drives a car that doubles as a rocket ship. The aliens wear helmets shaped like traffic cones. The same explosion footage repeats again and again. The fights are gloriously awkward, and the sound effects could shatter glass. Hidden inside all this chaos is a young Sonny Chiba, long before the Street Fighter made him an international star. It's the kind of film that's so absurd, you can't look away, which is probably why it later landed on Mystery Science Theater 3000. If you ever wanted to see the 1960s imagination completely unhinged, this is it. Beware the Triffids. They grow, know, walk, talk, stalk, and kill. Few taglines ever captured a movie so perfectly. Based on John Wyndham's 1951 novel, this British sci-fi classic begins with a meteor shower that blinds most of humanity and unleashes a new species of carnivorous plants. They move, they sting, and they feed, slowly but relentlessly. The effects clearly show their age, but the tension comes from clever sound design and editing, proof that atmosphere can do more than monsters ever could. In many ways, it feels like a prototype for the zombie film, a global catastrophe, a crumbling society, and survivors turning desperate as the world collapses around them. Frankenstein Meets the Space Monster delivers exactly what its title promises. NASA builds a humanoid android named Frank, designed for deep space missions. But when his rocket is blasted out of the sky by Martians, he crash lands in Puerto Rico, just in time for an alien invasion. Led by a Martian princess with a plan to kidnap Earth women to repopulate her dying planet, the invaders arrive with a bald, Fester-like henchman and a furry creature that looks like a bargain bin Skeletor. It's everything a fan of cheap 1960s sci-fi could ask for. Endless NASA stock footage, wild costumes, kitschy music, and a climactic showdown. The special effects on Frank are surprisingly solid, especially the scenes showing his mechanical brain and half-destroyed face after a Martian ray attack. Some still call it one of the worst movies ever made, but for lovers of low-budget sci-fi, it's absolutely a must-see. Moving on, and here we have an Italian vision of the future that's as stylish as it is deadly. The 10th Victim is a campy sci-fi satire where killing has become a televised sport. It's the 21st century, and contestants literally have a license to kill. Each player competes in 10 rounds, 5 as the hunter, 5 as the victim, earning fame and fortune with every kill. Survive all 10, and you win $1 million. Winners are treated like celebrities, interviewed on camera, and even asked about their favorite comic books. Carolyn Meredith, played by Ursula Andress, plans to make her 10th kill on live TV, sponsored by the Ming Tea Company. But things get complicated when she falls for her next target, played by Marcello Mastroianni. It's sharp, playful, and far ahead of its time. And of course, Ursula Andress steals every frame, especially in that unforgettable scene where she kills a man with a gun built into her bra. One of the early influences on sci-fi horror, Queen of Blood, also known as Planet of Blood, follows a rescue mission to Mars after Earth receives a distress call from an alien spacecraft. The crew finds a single survivor, a silent, pale green woman with glowing eyes and an appetite for blood. Its space visuals are surprisingly effective. Dark, shadowed and washed in red and green, achieved through a clever mix of original and stock footage. The pacing starts slow but turns haunting once the Queen is brought aboard the ship. Her telepathic stare, the tight close-ups, and the silent feeding scenes build an atmosphere that feels far ahead of its budget. There's even a moral debate among the crew, whether to destroy her or bring her back to Earth for study, a theme that would echo through the genre for decades. Director Curtis Harrington later said it himself. Ridley's Alien is like a greatly enhanced, expensive, and elaborate version of Queen of Blood. Here's another one with two names, 5 Million Years to Earth, also known as Quatermass and the Pit. While digging a new subway line beneath London, workers uncover ancient skeletons and what looks like an unexploded German bomb. Soon, scientists, the military, and Professor Bernard Quatermass are called in to investigate. Inside the object, they find giant, locust-like creatures and realize it isn't a bomb at all, but an alien spacecraft buried for millions of years. Quatermass begins to suspect that these beings may have played a role in human evolution itself, leaving behind traces in our minds, dormant instincts, and memories of violence that still linger. It's the third and best of Hammer's Quatermass films, following the Quatermass Experiment and Quatermass 2, and inspired by the earlier BBC series of the same name. Despite its dated effects, it's a gripping mix of mystery, horror, and science fiction, slowly building toward a finale that turns pure nightmare. Director Roy Ward Baker delivers one of Hammer's most intelligent thrillers, eerie, layered, and far more ambitious than its budget would suggest. Perhaps this still remains the peak of sexual science fiction. Based on the French comic, Barbarella takes us to the 41st century, where Jane Fonda stars as a space-age adventuress sent by the President of Earth to find the missing scientist Dr. Durand and recover his positronic ray. Her journey leads her to the planet Lithion, a place where a new sin is invented every hour, and survival means surrendering to the strange and the sensual. There's a sex organ keyboard, a dream chamber of fantasies, a blind birdman, a lesbian queen, leather robots, and dolls with teeth, all wrapped in psychedelic color and outrageous costume design. It's a wild fusion of sex and comedy, a trip through the free love imagination of the 1960s. And through it all, Jane Fonda's Barbarella remains in control, playful, fearless, and completely her own. The Astro-Zombies is a sci-fi horror film written, directed, and produced by Ted V. Mickles, one of the true kings of super low-budget cinema. John Carradine plays a mad scientist who creates a zombie-like creature that runs on a car battery, or as the film calls it, photocells, and is made from the body parts of dead criminals. Naturally, the monster breaks free and goes on a killing spree. It's strange, cheap, but oddly charming, and absolutely worth seeing. Directed by Kinji Fukasaku, The Green Slime might be one of the most gloriously ridiculous sci-fi films ever made. A space crew is sent to destroy an asteroid threatening Earth, but they accidentally bring back a glowing green substance. Back on their station, it mutates into tentacled creatures that feed on energy and multiply every time they're attacked. The parallels with Alien are hard to miss. The film blends vivid sets, miniature ships, and a monster that's more absurd than frightening. You could call it goofy, and you wouldn't be wrong. But beneath the chaos, The Green Slime is imaginative, ambitious, and surprisingly influential. A bizarre, irresistible relic of 1960s sci-fi.